Howdy and aloha, everybody. It's James with Monatauk. Aloha. Okay, so it is August 10th, 2023, and they are still going after Donald Trump with nothing. It's just the way it's interesting because it's nonsensical. It's just a waste of mental space. Mainstream media is a waste of mental space. It, their job is to confuse you. I'm not sure if it was 2014 or 2015, but there was a little bill or a law that was passed or something like that where you could that Obama helped push that it was okay to for mainstream media to emit propaganda. That's crazy, huh? I, it's like what? It's true. I forgot the name of the bill, but it's fucking there. So that's what they do. It's just all day long, every day, every week, and twice on Sundays. It's fucking crazy. And their job is to confuse you, put fear in you, direct you, control you. This is Pedo-Predator Class 101, World Economic Forum, and their cronies. That's basically what this is. And they continue to put Trump um, at the forefront of these indictments. Indictments. It sounds pretty fierce, doesn't it? The word indictment. To a lot of people that don't understand what an indictment really is, would go, well, was he indicted for this and indicted for that and indicted for this? Yeah, lots of people get indicted, but they're not charged, right? They're not charged. An indictment, it's real simple. Okay, I'll make this a little bigger so everybody can see it. An indictment, this just Google it. Just put what does indictment mean? An indictment, whether it is handed up in federal or state court, is a formal accusation, not a conviction, and it is among the first moves a prosecutor can make to bring a case to trial. It's a parking ticket, and I've said this before. And look, I'm not the biggest fan of Donald Trump. I think everybody should. I'm not a big fan of any party right now. I think the parties are just, in my opinion, just stupid and ridiculous. We should all be able to vote as independents, whether you want to be, you shouldn't have to register as a Democrat or register as a Republican. You should be able to vote, once you're over 18 and or whatever. Uh, they want to bring the voting age down to 16. I just don't think that's a good idea because, I don't. I want kids to enjoy their time in high school or enjoy their time as being teens. I'm okay with 20, honestly, because once you get out of high school or school and you start working, you start to understand how things work. You start to understand what a paycheck is and how to pay some bills and take care of yourself. You might start to buy things and have to return them, and you start to understand, and you start to move away from the nest, and you start to see how life really is. And I think it's important for people that are voting, that's just me, to have a little life experience first and foremost. That's always been my thing. Um, but the problem with what's happening now is the way that it's formed through CNN, MSNBC, and sometimes even Fox does it. Um, Al Jazeera, especially PBS, Associated Press, and all the print media, New York Times, LA Times, indictment, indictment. It's so bad. It's so evil. It's so bad. It's just a ticket. It's just an accusation. And you can go to the court with your speeding ticket and you can fight it and say, well, I was coming down a hill, and the hill, if you're coasting, it'll get you over the speed limit, and that usually takes care of it. There's a lot of attorneys that, as I've said in the past, and more recently, that can get you off of, even, from a DUI to wet reckless and all these other things that they can do, or lower traffic tickets, and do certain things. But in this particular case, it's just a charge. They're just creating a charge. And people think that's just most people have no idea what an indictment is. They think they think that's a complete and total conviction. Like, oh, he was indicted. That must mean he did it. No, he didn't do anything. As far as I can see, he hasn't done a fucking thing. I mean, literally hasn't done anything that I can tell that's that is even remotely close to what the Democrats are doing now. And I call them Democrats because they're pretty crazy. And yes, there are some Republicans. There are some Republicans, and I wanted to show you something because um, remember, I've been doing this since late 2016, maybe a show or two, and then I really started to pour it on in 2017. Had my blog talk radio show, my YouTube channel. On my eighth channel because YouTube and their community guidelines, aka Orwellian Ministry of Truth, controlled by the Pedo-Predator Class via FBI or whoever's giving them the orders to take down my channels. I've lost hundreds of subscribers, tons of content, and just this channel and Monotalk is about talking. It's about conversing. Because Mana means power in Hawaiian, and that's my culture. I'm mostly Hawaiian, 42% Polynesian, according to me in 23 that my brother did. I didn't do that, though. And that's why I created Mana Talk, so people can question things like authority and politicians and others, and have redirect or conversations and dialogue, kind of like Joe Rogan does, kind of like Tucker Carlson's now starting to do, kind of like Jimmy Dore does, and a few others out there that I really enjoy, paying attention to. And there's so many others that do the same thing. And I think it's important. I think it's important that all of us have the ability to use one of the greatest tools that God has given us, which is our ability to communicate. And this is one of the most threatening words that you'll ever, that not you, that the pedo-predator class, these wannabe elitist sick fucks via the World Economic Forum, these crazy these just narcissistic pedophilia, just sick bastards. The most threatening words to them are words like unity, communicate, together, um, village, just people, actual discussion. That is a very threatening word to them, and they don't like that because people start to understand. Like I've always said, you don't know who the true enemy is if you keep arguing with each other. So it's good to have this dialogue. It's good to have these conversations. It's good for people to bring out their content and information and then discuss it and comment on it. Which you guys anybody's welcome to comment on any of my information. And if you have any questions, please call. Actually, excuse me, there is a phone number on the website, stopthewf.org or DIYliberty.org. It's 816 744 0051. Leave a message. It's a Google number, but the number I'll get a message that it'll stack, and then you'll be able to leave a message, and I can read it. If it's something stupid and frivolous, I'm not going to fucking call you back. Of course, you can do whatever you want, and then I can block numbers too in case you do put something on there that's completely just ridiculously stupid and immature, which happens. People are like that. Anyway, so let's listen to what I'm saying here because I sent this out, and there's a few people that don't like this, and I'm just like, well, what? And it seems a little one sided, and I get it. All right, I get it. But let me just. The wind is a blowing.
Wind is a blowing. So hopefully you guys can
Fucking
hear me.
dork.
All of the chaos, craziness, lunacy that you're seeing. We're talking everything from homelessness to gas prices to woke culture, wars, poisonous Kool-Aid in your arms, et cetera, et cetera. It's just everything. It's from the World Economic Forum. It's more of a metaphor, as I say, but it's pretty obvious that these people are obviously the Pedo-Predator Class, and they're just a nasty fucking bunch of sick motherfuckers. They want to hoard it all for themselves. We're talking the planet. Um, and if you believe or think in any way that there aren't some compromised, corrupted politicians out there, then I don't know what to tell you. But what they don't realize, those corrupted politicians, is they're also expendable to these sick fucks, these elitist, globalist fuckers. And they may want to make them believe that they're going to ride on their chariots or whatever the case may be, but that's not the case. It's all bullshit. Anyway, just letting you know. Take care. Aloha.
That is pretty much it. A lot of politicians that are out there, and what I'm saying to you is on both and everywhere. It's not just two parties that are corrupted. It's other parties that are corrupted. Um, the Green Party with Howie Hawkins. God, what a fucking menagerie that was. Anyway, um, was all in with the masks, the lockdowns, and the mandates, the Kool Aid in your arm mandates. They were full on. I was like, what? No medical freedom from you know, and they are big time climate change people, which I fucking have come almost 180 on that. And the reason why is because the more that their predictions, the fucking half, I think it was at least 15% of Florida is going to be underwater, and parts of California and the coasts and stuff, and in 10 years and 5 years the glaciers are going to melt in 5 years and 10 years and 20 years. That never happened. None of that happened. All these predictions have turned around and bit them in the butt. And then I had to think, well, what's really going on? Well, it all leads up to the World Economic Forum and them wanting to control everything. Them Look, again, the World Economic Forum is basically a metaphor. That's just where they all hang out, like an Amway convention, right? Multi-level marketing in a sense, which is pretty much what it is. And anybody that's a young globalist, that's part of that crew, I would be very weary of. I am very weary of them. Anybody. Even Tulsi Gabbard was a young globalist. She's pretty much denounced them, but she hasn't fully said, I want no part of those people at all. I'm waiting to hear that. I'm waiting to hear I I'm waiting to hear a politician say these words. I will no longer pay attention to, support, or associate with anything or anyone from the World Economic Forum or the World Health Organization. I haven't heard anybody say that. Have you heard anybody say anything similar to that? If you have, let me know. I think maybe DeSantis did, which kind of. I think I heard Vivek say it. Wamsarani, or the little Indian guy. And all these people, I've never seen anybody completely denounce. I denounce any association with those people. I think Vivek has though. And I think he tried to sue them to have his name taken off of their website as a young globalist because he was a young globalist with them. And he's saying he didn't know why and all this. Look, they're a giant outfit. They're connected to BlackRock. They're connected to State Street. They're connected to Fidelity. They're connected to J.P. Morgan. They're connected to the world, to the military industrial complex. They're connected to big pharma, big hospital, big elderly care, big psychology, which is a big industry, by the way. People don't really understand or know that. Um, and just big oil, big coal, just big everything, big energy, big you know hadron collider, CERN, big space, NASA, and all this shit. They're so connected to everything, and they've been able to put their tentacles out, kind of like Hillary Clinton, right? And get so many people to buy into this giant lie. And it's really, and that what I'm saying there is they promise them a chariot. I'm not sure if it's a cult thing. I'm not sure if it's a if they're going to get promised like the Noah's Ark, or they're going to get their own Epstein Island. I don't know. Who fucking knows what they're promising them? Because you'd know for sure Lindsey Graham is on board. You know for sure Mitch McConnell is on board. You know for sure that John Kerry and Obama's and Michael Obama and all these other people, all the Democrats are on with the World Economic Forum. Those are people are fucking locked in, hook, line, and sinker, which I've now branded as democrats because they're just evil fucks right now. And I'm not saying Republicans aren't either. I'm not saying, I still say to this day there are Dumbo can'ts, which isn't the case because they can. They've been able to literally destroy this country piece by piece by piece by piece, slowly chipping away at it. But there are Republicans, the rhinos, the ones out there that'll go on like some committee hearing and beat the hell out of some FBI guy or Twitter CEO, but nothing happens. Nothing happens. I mean, Chris Christie, right? I think I can find this. Hang on. I think Chris Christie just went to. Hold on. There it is. Chris Christie goes to Ukraine. Ah, oh, there you go, Republicans. And a lot of these. This is the big month. This is okay. If you're paying attention, oh god, it's so much. Ukraine is a money laundering scam. Everyone that wants to send Ukraine billions of dollars knows that money is going to come back to their campaign or themselves via Cayman Island account, South African account, Swiss bank account, property, who knows? But this is what they do. They've been doing it for a long time. War's a racket. War's a racket. Smedley Butler. You look it up. War is a racket. It's been happening for a long time. The military industrial complex, which has the best unions, by the way, I wonder why, because they get paid the most money, has gotten an average of about $680 billion a year since 9/11, 2021. Excuse me, 2001, 2001. That's a lot of money, because we need those $10,000 toilet seats. Seriously, it's just so obvious. So, as I say that, and oh, here's another one. I'm just glad I didn't forget. This person right here. Oh man, that was bad. This was terrible. Jimmy was a little rough on this chick. I thought Jimmy was a little rough on, it, but nobody really likes her. She's totally Pfizer. She's totally into Bill Gates. I think she's being. It's weird. You gotta listen to. This is kind of weird because you gotta listen to her voice because it's very odd. Very odd. There's nobody on here yet. What's really odd about her is she's kind of got like she's been living in England or something. But listen to her talk. It's kind of weird. Listen to her. Listen to her talk. Oh shit! Hold on. I hate when it does that. Didn't used to do it. You just play it. Here it goes.
It's a narrative that, much like as you talk about Ukraine, some quoting George Bush, some good people can disagree. And when it comes to the issues about Fauci, I think that we are coming on to a time when there does need to be complete transparent. I don't know if we'll ever have it, but transparency and investigation into what actually happened, and the U.S. and the actions of the U.S. government and what agencies. All that should be laid bare, and anyone who in any way betrayed the American people should be held accountable.
So it doesn't sound like you have enthusiasm for that kind of an investigation. But did you ever see that movie?
No, wait, excuse me. I do have enthusiasm for that kind of investigation. I don't think it will be easy to make it happen, but I absolutely would take an act of Congress to have that kind of investigation. And if we have enough progressives in Congress, or actually that might even be conservatives in Congress, that to me isn't even about left or right. I would absolutely support full accounting of what actually happened during COVID. In fact, I think absolutely it should happen.
Well, that certainly puts you outside the Democratic Party for sure. So
many things do, Jimmy. Obviously, so, maybe we'll get to some of them. Yeah, I am not with the.
That's really. So tell me, So I said the same thing to RFK Jr. when he came on the show, because here. They're not going to give you a debate, right? So they're not going to let you debate them.
Go in that direction that our own gut says is the place where we could be most helpful. There are many ways when it comes to the corporate tyranny that now dominates this country, the oligarchic system that has really, for all intents and purposes, replaced democracy. If you look at it one way, it's all locked up. But I believe that there's going to be a break. Now, everybody is part of it. One person feels I'm going to do a podcast. Another person feels I'm going to start a TV network.
I'm not disagreeing with this woman. It just sounds like she's been living in England. I don't think. It's almost like she has a British accent. Is it just me? Anyway, I she doesn't have a chance in hell. I think she's just throwing herself out there trying to get a cabinet position. That's all. That's what a lot of these people do. They get out there to get. This happens a lot, and if you've seen debate after debate after debate, presidential debate after debate, a president will usually pick a few of the people that raked them through the coals or gave them some friction or during the campaign, during the debate, or something like that. You might see somebody, go in there, and it gives them some selling power too. It would be good if you brought what's the person's name onto your cabinet, since this is what they're for and what they are about and what they like to do. A good spot for them would be agriculture. Who fucking knows? But that's very common. That's very common. And that's interesting that she once, and I think Jimmy was surprised there that she took the position outside of the Democrats. I'm not. Look, I don't trust the Democrats anymore. I don't know who. I don't know anybody. I mean, I don't trust any of them. Right? It's just so hard to trust anybody these days. I mean, let's just be totally real. And there are people out there, right? There are people out there that trust this guy. And I've got to tell you, they are putting in more time and effort and energy and money and resources to take this guy down, to do whatever they can to remove this person who isn't in any bloodline, blah, 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 who is kind of out of the fray but still kind of make deals. I'm still wanting him to, he better fucking cover his ass when it comes to the Kool-Aid data that's coming back, the Kool-Aid in the arm data that's coming back on all the children that are passing away suddenly, just going away. The percentage is horrific that have taken the Kool-Aid in their arms. And he needs to acknowledge that. And that's something that might just bite him in the butt. And the person that's going to bring that up is JFK. He's going to bring that shit up. And it's going to be nasty. He better fucking address it. If his campaign needs to pull their heads out of their ass and fucking fix that. Because this is the guy that said, take the vaccine. It works. It works. And him and Bill, I forgot his fucking name. He was on some talk show. He used to work for Fox. Anyway, he's on this talk show with this ex journalist, and they're all bragging. Oh, I got the vaccine. Did you get the vaccine? Oh, I got the vaccine. Did you get the vaccine? I got the vaccine. Saying okay, right, whatever. You're bragging about it now, but the numbers are getting really bad. That's all I'm saying. The numbers are not getting good. And a lot of people, I think you understand why I'm going with this. And I'm not going to continue because I want to try to keep the channel up. Here's, like I said, push come to shove, this guy's still available. I'm voting for him. And here, the biggest reason why is because if he really didn't know that they were going to rig this the second, like they did with Bernie, like they did with so many people, like they did with Kerry Lake, that was fucking totally rigged. You have to know that. The person in charge of the voting system was the person Kerry Lake is running for. I don't know if that was just a dumb idea to do in the first place, or she just thought she could fucking trust her. And obviously it didn't work out because everything with that screamed criminal rigging in the Arizona governor race, for sure. In 2022, right? 2020, yeah. I am just saying, this guy right here, these are just indictments. They're just accusations. See that word right before it says accusation, not conviction. Accusation. And every single one makes him, every one that he's able to prove without a single doubt that he was in the right or correct or did not get charged makes him stronger. And he keeps saying, bring another one and that'll seal it. The biggest thing that I want people to do, though, is they better watch out because these fucking people are ruthless. Right? These people, and I'm going to show you who these fucking people are because they are fucking ruthless motherfuckers. Right? And we are talking about the World Economic Forum and their cronies, right? Oh, of course I can't find it. It's probably like right in front of me, and I just don't see it. Yeah, these people for sure. He's got to worry about. He's got to be careful with these fuckers. They're nasty sons of bitches. All these people. Okay, United Nations, NATO, um, World Economic Forum, Chatham House, the OFC, or was that Office on Foreign Relations, or Council on CFR, Council on Foreign Relations. There's just a bunch out there. Where's that picture? Gosh darn it, it's somewhere here. And they're nasty fucking people, man. And they're coming after him. They're going to do whatever they can to keep this guy away from their agenda. And I keep telling you what the agenda. You guys remember the agenda, right? The agenda is hoard. The Pedo-Predator Class wants to hoard everything for themselves. That is not a fucking joke. That is the real thing, right? And I've been asking people to fucking, and we're talking everybody that's involved. We're talking a lot of Republicans, all the fucking Democrats, all these news outlets right here. Um, of course, the FDA, CDC, HHS, World Economic Forum, World Health Organization, Council on Foreign Relations, the Bilderberg meetings, the G20s, the G7s, all these fuckers. They don't like this guy. They don't like this guy. They don't like him. There's a bunch of people that don't like him. They don't like uh, Joe Biden, though, for sure. They don't like Joe Biden. Um, and that's why they're leaving. A lot of them are leaving too. It's kind of weird the way I'm saying that. How do I say this? They don't trust Joe Biden, right? They don't trust Joe Biden. There's a difference. I think they trust Trump, and I think he's more of a man. I know it's going to be hard for you to swallow this little pill I'm about to give you. I don't think they. I think they trust Trump more than they trust um, Donald Trump, and they are meaning the people that are involved with the hoarding, the Pedo-Predator Class. There are a great deal of people out there that aren't a part of this. There's a bunch of them out there that are not interested in in hoarding the world for themselves. Right? There's a lot of countries out there that aren't into that. They don't want any of that shit. They just want the way it was before, and better, because it wasn't really fair in the first place, honestly. But they want things to be better. They definitely want things to be better. But all these like crooks and liars and rooters and now this and Times and ABC News, NBC, CBS, Facebook, not Twitter anymore. Um, there it is, HSS right there, CNN, FA, CDC, NIH, all these people, they fucking hate Trump. They don't want Trump because Trump isn't going to make them money. Trump will make the bureaucracy do their jobs. And if he's smart, like I've always said, and let's see if we can get a picture of this because I think this is what I think everybody wants. DMV in Los Angeles. All right. And the reason why I'm showing you this picture, is this is where they should be working. I don't believe that politicians should be working in these giant fucking buildings anymore. This is where they should be working at. All right, they should be working in DMV buildings. all the bureaucrats, these high giant towers, they don't deserve it. And he knows it. They don't deserve the pay that they get. They don't deserve the anything. They don't deserve it. They don't work that much anyway. I've never, the people that have worked the most, that you if you watch Congress, is the Republicans. They're there about a third more than the Democrats. And look at the numbers. They'll even show you. Just call the 202-224-3121 and say, hey, how do I find out how much time has been spent by each congressional official, House or Senate? Is there a log? There is a place where they log the time that they're there. Um, right. Look at all these DMV places. This is where they need to be, at the DMV. They all need to be working at the fucking Department of Motor Vehicles. Every fucking one of them. Right. This is where they should be. Just like the rest of the bureaucrats out there. They don't deserve our tax dollars. They don't do anything for us. They don't do anything for us. The minimum wage is still $8.75 or $9. Not even $9. I think it's $7.75. I don't think it's eight. Somewhere around $8. Hasn't been touched since 2009. Nobody, and I mean nobody, that has a business can hire anybody for less than $10 or $11 an hour. You can't find anybody to work for you if you're not paying them at least 10 or 11, at least $10 an hour. And sometimes they won't even work for that. So I keep talking. I'm trying to get through to the Republicans. Look, you guys, all you have to do is put in a vote to raise it to 11, 12 bucks an hour. It's not going to kill anybody. Nobody's, but it's going to help. And then watch the Democrats do nothing. That is going to really destroy the Democratic Party. Should just go away anyway. They're not fucking doing anything. They don't talk about Citizens United, McCutcheon versus FEC. They don't. They are all with the Great Reset and the hoax of climate change and this new thing. They want to kill more cattle, and they want to take over more farms and control more of the land across the world. That's it. That's their goal. That's their goal. I don't know. They just want to hoard everything. And like I said before, they don't. And all these politicians that are with them, that are supporting them, they don't have a place for you in their silo. There's no place in the silo for you. There's no place in the silo for you. There's no place. They're not going to give you a place where you're going to be safe. You're expendable. You working at Google doing the fact checking and the community guideline checking. You working for the Democrat as an intern, thinking that Joe Biden is the thing. They don't care. The Pedo-Predator Class, these huge, gigantic elitists that have, you don't even know their names. No, it's not fucking Bill Gates. No, it's not fucking Jeff Bezos. It's not Elon Musk either. There are people out there that have more money and more assets and more things across this planet than you could imagine. And they have a network of people. They have a network of people that are within their rings, and they control everything. They hand down the orders to and it goes to the World Economic Forum, and then, like Klaus Schwab said, we have penetrated the cabinets. We have over 3,000 national leaders, world leaders across the world that we control. I mean, he said these fucking words. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's they need to go, and that's why I always promote it. But anyway, get your butt out there, protest, call your legislator, your judiciary, your executive, your department, and say we just don't want any part of the World Economic Forum. Go to the DIYLiberty.org or stoptheworldeconomicforum.org. I don't know if F the World Economic Forum is still around or if Stop the Globalists are still around. But anyway, the one you need to go to is DIYLiberty.org or stopthewef.org. I'll show you what the website looks like just so you know that you're going to the right place. I redid it, made it a little brighter because I know it looked a little heavy before. Here it is right here. When you see that, you know you're at the right place. On the outside, the 99%, we control the world. Okay? We control the world. It's us that controls the world. It's not to them. It's not to them. We are the ones that dictate everything because what they're doing, and I'll just make it simple so you can understand. Just got to keep it. I want to put it in layman's terms because that's how I would understand it, honestly. Right, and it's very simple. Okay, you let one ant stand up to us, then they all might stand up to us. Those puny little ants outnumber us 1,000,000 to 1. And if they ever figure that out, there goes our way of life. It's not about food, it's about keeping those ants in line. That's Hopper. Right? He's talking to Flint, the little ant. Yeah, and this is really popular right now. Everybody's putting this up on their Facebooks, on their Twitter. This is huge. I like this. Right? It says right there, I withdraw my consent to be governed by any corrupt, compromised, belligerent criminal parliament or government. I will not comply. Now that can go several ways though. Right? Because there are some people on the left that think that the Republicans are belligerent and the people on the right that think that the Democrats are belligerent. So you got to be careful when you throw that around. Right now it's mainly the Democrats are the fucking just the hugest problem. But like I said, a lot of these people are compromised. I mean, I brought this up earlier. All of them, most of these people are fucking puppets of the World Economic Forum and the Pedo-Predator Class. It's sad, but it's true. It's sad, but it's true. Sad, but true. Anyway, that's about it. I think I'm good. Listen up, everybody. Next week, I'm going to have a few people on here, and we are going to, and this is going to be Tuesday night. We're going to have, what we're going to have is we're going to go through some topics, and we're going to have, you have a minute to answer. A minute to answer your thoughts, opinion, your outlook on it. And I'm going to go through all of it. And then I say what I say. But it's going to be fun. Right? And then at the end, we'll dub a winner. But, no matter what, like I always said, there are people out there that are there's just assholes out there, man. I don't care what cult you're in. I don't care what religion you both think you pray to. I don't care what group or society or party you're in. If you're using those entities or those groups or cults or whatever as an excuse to be a fucking total asshole, to be a lying, conniving piece of crap, criminal, then it's on you. Whatever, you can say you're with the World Economic Forum or the Illuminati or, a bunch of pedo fuckers, Catholic, whatever. You can say you're with the Skull and Crossbones, whatever, or Epstein Island cult, whatever one you want to say. Whatever, push that all aside It's your actions. It's you that make that final decision. It's you and nothing else that made that decision to do that thing. Whether it's decent or devilish or good or bad or evil or wrong or good or right or up or down or whatever. You made that decision. So it's on you, nobody else. And you need to live with that decision. You need to live with the reality and the fact that it was you that made that choice and did that action. Nobody else. Nobody else. No more excuses. We need people with integrity, character, and decency. And I think there's some people out there that definitely have that ability. I'm not close to that. No. I am John man. I am John, average man on the street for sure. But yeah, I'm not perfect. No way. And I don't think we're ever going to get perfect. But there's some good people out there that really have a good heart. And I do believe there are people that are just being terribly manipulated by larger forces, and they just don't know it yet. A lot of people live around me. You know, they're young, they just don't understand yet. It's just life experience stuff. You just learn this stuff. Anyway, thank you for being here. I want to say aloha to everybody. Aloha, mahalo. Have a good night. I'm probably missing a bunch of stuff, but I might come on. I might come back later if I need to. Heck, I don't know.